It's Wellness Nerd Out time! How you guys doing? Happy Wend Wellness Nerd Out time. And very, very happy birthday to Dominic Schultz. Happy birthday, my brother. I hope you're having an awesome day. We'll talk about him at the end. As for now, let's get into our discussion. And that today is about soy. And more specifically about the anti-nutrient content in different soy products and how they can be reduced. So with soybeans and soy products in general, they're generally valued for their high protein, high fat content relative to other legumes, which is impressive, right? Because legumes are great for you. And they have beneficial phytocompounds, bioactive compounds, phytosterols, and isoflavones. Isoflavones, more of the antioxidant thing. The phytosterols, they actually might be some benefits too, but they may be responsible for the estrogenic effects that we get with soy. And we're going to talk about if those, actually play a role or not in estrogen production, things like that tomorrow. But these soybeans also contain something else that's not so great, and those are anti-nutrients. And when we talk about anti-nutrients, well, the name precedes them in the sense that they inhibit the proper breakdown and absorption and digestion and absorption of vitamins, minerals, and protein, right? And so that's no bueno, obviously. So we would love to have our soybeans, containing all that good protein and fat and the isoflavones and whatnot without these anti-nutrients. And when we talk about these anti-nutrients, really we're referring to tannins, trypsin inhibitors, and phytates, right? We could throw oligosaccharides in there, but we're going to be talking about tannins, trypsin inhibitors, and phytates today. So let's talk about a few different forms of soy and how many anti-nutrients, what they got going on, right? So with standard soybeans, now how do we rid ourselves of these anti-nutrients in the first place with soy products? It's through processing. Generally, processing is not a good thing. We want our foods whole, natural, untarnished by the hands of man, if you will, right? For the most part, beside the fact that heating denatures proteins, right? And it's a beneficial thing in terms of being able to break it down and absorb the proteins. But here, when we talk about processing with soy, it can lower these concentrations of anti-nutrients. So basic soybean processing, generally they'll be soaked for 12 to 14 hours in water. And this is before packaging, right? Generally with soybeans. And that'll reduce the tannin concentration by 50%. Okay, but now we haven't affected the trypsin inhibitors or the phytates. The tannins drop by 50%. That's good. We want to reduce, again, these anti-nutrient values, right? So that we can better absorb other nutrients in our body, right? And so if you were to soak them now in water with baking soda, that could be done for 9 hours, and this could reduce the tannin concentrations by 68%. It could reduce the trypsin inhibitors by 30%, and the phytates by 21%, okay? So now if we go a step further, and after these soybeans are dehulled and they're boiled, well, this will reduce the tannin concentration by 100% and the trypsin inhibitors by 82%. So that's a big difference. That's really doing a nice chunk there in terms of helping to rid the soybeans of the anti-nutrients is boiling, right, after the dehulling and initial soaking. And what about the phytates, though, because that didn't affect phytate concentration? Well, if the soybeans are fermented with fungi or bacteria, then this will reduce the phytate concentration by 30% now, okay? So what about something like soy milk? Let's talk about a few different types of soy, right? So soy milk, it's generally boiled before it's packaged, but if you have fresh soy milk and you bring it to a boil, this will reduce the trypsin inhibitor concentration by 43%. Now, if you boil it for another 10 minutes, the soy milk trypsin inhibitor are reduced by 89% and boiled for another 10 minutes, so making a total of 20 minutes of boiling after the onset of boiling, another 20 minutes, an additional 20. You reduce the trypsin inhibitors by 95%. Okay, so that'll really help to reduce them in soy milk if it's again boiled. Now with tofu we see after adding coagulants and removing excess liquid and extracting the soy curds to give us our tofu, right? Our firm tofu, we're talking standard. Then we're going to get a 51% reduction in trypsin inhibitors. All right, and now actually, along with boiling, which didn't affect phytates really, like we said, right? Probably the best processing method and form of soy for removing anti-nutrients is soy flours and soy protein powders, because they are ground and roasted. Okay, now, and we grind and roast these soybeans to give us these soy flours and protein powders. We get a 98% reduction in trypsin inhibitors. We get a 78% reduction in phytates and a 75% reduction in tannins. That was a lot of numbers to remember. I think they're all right. And, it's just, the point is, different forms, right, the way they're processed, different forms of soy, it's not just about how much protein, how much fat is in the soybean. That, depending on how it was processed, you're either going to absorb or not absorb the other nutrients in the soybeans, not to mention other circulating nutrients in your body at the time as well, because of the high concentrations of anti-nutrients. So go for a form of soy that after processing has removed most of the anti-nutrients as aforementioned. All right, so there you go. Now you have a few different forms. Parker, what's up, brother? How you doing, baby? Good to see you. Hope you're doing great. I'm sure you're having fun, enjoying life. Deshaun, what's up, my man? How you doing, brother? Keep killing life, all right? So before we got to go, we're going to say a very, very happy birthday to Dom Schultz. Happy birthday, Dom, you beast. Absolute beast bag. Dom, he was like our guy we got. He was like a running back. He basically put in there a running back / fullback that would just murder people. You were playing forward. It was always a dream of mine to get you in the back line. That would have been a lot of fun. Maybe play side by side at center. That would be a blast. But man, you were something else, man. You ran fast, you ran hard, and you hit mean. So credit to you for that, brother. Respect always. It was fun bashing some heads with you. And, great Cairo too. Great Cairo, family man as well. Your son, you're doing great things, man. And, I can see, the success, and I can, from what I see in social media, but, you can feel it when someone's around you, because your energy is absolutely phenomenal. You're such a positive, upbeat, very real guy. It holds people accountable, doesn't take any BS. That's kind of the vibe I get with you, and I love that, man. Dom, fun fact about Dom, he could even cut hair really well. He's cut mine on the porch at 2222 Ripley back in Iowa. He did a good job, man. He did a better job than my barber. They're not friends with me on Instagram, so they don't know that I'm shit talking them, but nah, they're pretty good too. But yeah, man, that's a fun fact about Dom. So Dom, you have a great day, man. Happy birthday. Really enjoy it, brother. All right. This one is absolutely forever your day in the book of Wend Wellness. So happy birthday. You guys have a great rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow. And happy Wend Wellness. Thanks.